Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie. And this week on the pod, it was Coen Brothers Week. And today we're going to be discussing the 1996 drama Fargo, written and directed by the Coen Brothers, starring William H. Macy, Frances McDormand, Steve Buscemi, Peter Stormare. Uh, Alongside me is the Cuz. The Cuz, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How the heck are you doing?
Ah, you know. And alongside us, our friend and co-host, Ryan. Ryan, how are you?
Oh yeah?
Don't you
Yeah.
know?
Don't you know? I'm doing good. How are you, Robbie?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Happy to be here.
You wouldn't rather be watching Stump the Schwab?
The dozen trivia, I do love watching a dozen trivia at night, but uh no, I'd rather be here instead of answering questions like a
Nice.
legend.
So yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch, and we watch a movie that one or all of us haven't seen yet. And like you said, it's Fargo. I think am I the only one who saw it? Neither one of you saw it before?
I haven't seen it.
I've seen the TV shows, but I haven't seen the actual movie.
Right. And I haven't seen all the TV shows. Benny, have you watched any of the series?
I believe I know for sure I watched the first season. I don't know if I saw the second one or not, but I was actually talking about the first season with someone and I remember literally nothing about it other
Yeah.
than I liked the main cop in it. And that's kind of all I remember.
All right. Well, we're talking about the movie today, like Robbie said, 1996's Fargo. And before we get into it, please send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of Fargo, what you think of any of the other movies we've watched, or suggest movies for us to watch. We love getting emails. So please, send us something. Follow us on Instagram. And I don't know, like and subscribe on YouTube or on your podcast provider or what have you. Send us a rating, whatever, all that fun stuff. We like, a little more interaction. Send us a DM if you're lazy. I don't know. It seems hard to pull up your email client for some people.
Yeah, very hard. I mean, you could text us too. A lot of people do that, but make a specific point if you want to excuse me, if you want us to bring it up on the show or throw your hat in the ring to, nominate a show, be a special guest. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, please don't make us sick Robbie on you.
Please. Those days are over.
All love for Robbie nowadays.
No, you
Love
know what? I'm
more.
back. I'm back.
Okay.
Sick more in 24. Sick more in
I
24.
thought you were gonna be a love whore in 24.
No. I'm I can't think. My brain is fried. I'm sorry.
It's
That's
all right.
okay.
You watching too much Stump the Schwab over there.
Yeah. Too much trivia in my head. Who hit 3,000 for the Blue Jays? Who did this? Who did that? I don't got it anymore.
You got it. You got it. You just got it. We got to prime the pump a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Um, so since both of you haven't seen the movie, I'd love to get like your impressions going into it. Like, what'd you think? You have a little bit of experience with the show, even though the show and the movie are different. Um, but is it something you always wanted to watch? I don't know. Whichever wants to start first.
Go ahead, Rob.
I don't know if I ever wanted to watch this movie. For some reason, I don't know if I'm a big Coen Brothers fan. I mean, I know No Country for Old Men I do love, but was never really on the radar for me, and I didn't know if I was going to watch it. When I saw it was an hour and about 35, I was all in. I mean, please, right in the wheelhouse. But from watching the show, I figured, of course, it's like I guess I don't know if it's a murder mystery, but I definitely knew it was some kind of drama involving, violence and murders. So that was right in the older wheelhouse. I do love a good murder. I do love some violence. So yeah, I was all in and had some good the cast was great. I love Frances McDormand, so I was all in on that. But yeah, would I have watched it? Probably not. I don't know why, but I probably never would have got around to it if nobody voted for it this week.
Yeah, I think that like I said, I don't remember much of the first season of Fargo, but I remember I really, really enjoyed it. So I think I went into this movie with like super high expectations. Um, I definitely had interest in watching it when I was going to get around to it. I mean, please, I haven't seen so many great movies that we've chronicled so far, but it was definitely something I was interested in. I had high hopes for. Looking at the cast, I was very excited to watch it. Yeah, so I'll leave it there. I was just very excited to watch this one.
Nice. Yeah, I was excited to rewatch. I hadn't watched it in a while. And I think my perspective on it changed because the last time I watched it, honestly, was years ago when I was younger. I'm still stupid, but stupider. So yeah, no, I liked it.
Do you remember like the first time you saw it, like how it landed and
I remember being like, wow, that was good, but it like two of the characters annoyed me when I was younger, but now I like them. So the thing I remember the most is just being like, the violence and like the comedic parts and stuff like that. But I
yeah.
remember being like, William H. Macy and Frances McDormand are so annoying in this movie. And now, like looking back, I'm like, Ryan, I mean, you're still an idiot, but you are an idiot back
I
then.
mean, of all the people you could have picked to annoy you in this movie, and you choose
Right?
those two.
Yeah, I know. I like not like I was like, oh, I can't watch this, but I just remember being like, all right. Like, especially William H. Macy, just like he came across back then to me as such like a wimp. Um,
Yeah.
so, but
I
no,
mean,
I
everybody knows you were
definitely,
a tough guy on the streets back then, so that
I'm
probably would have bothered
fucking,
you.
I'm softer than mashed potatoes, my friend. Um, but yeah, should we do some overall impressions then?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. I
Rob,
guess
so
I'll,
start us off again. Oh yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah,
Oh,
Robbie,
uh,
Robbie,
oh,
go ahead.
me?
Yes, please.
So I think the thing with me in this movie is I didn't see it in 1996. So I've seen movies like this, you know, in the future that I think I like more. I don't know if I'm a Coen Brothers fan. I really don't know. As you know, I liked The Big Lebowski. I didn't think it was great. I like this movie. I didn't think it was great for all the people that I know uh, to say how great this movie was. And we even had a comment on our Instagram page with a fan saying that this is one of his favorite movies. So I came in with some high expectations, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get this crazy, murder mystery, all these things and that. And I thought it was okay. I did. I wasn't blown away by it. I think I've seen better, you know, crime drama, cop drama movies. So I wasn't really blown away by it. Did it feel long? It actually did feel long for me at an hour and 40, I want to say. I think some parts were super slow. I don't know what it is about Steve Buscemi. I was feeling him in this movie, and then he just got to me. I just don't know what it is about him. I didn't like him in um Sopranos. I didn't really like him in this movie. Maybe it's just he's just not my cup of tea. So um I'm sure he's a great person, but and from somebody who doesn't have fantastic teeth, his teeth were bugging the shit out of me in this movie. They were extremely large. But who am I to talk? I have a gap between the front of my teeth, so I'm not, Tommy Dentures over here, so I can't talk. But it was okay. Cinematography was good, writing was good. There was some great performances. I thought William H Macy was annoying, but that's who he was supposed to be. Somebody down on his luck, trying to figure out a way to redeem himself or get some cash or this and that. And Frances McDormand was great, and Peter Stormare was fantastic. A man of few words, but a menacing figure. So it was a good movie. Would I watch it again? I'm gonna have to go out on a limb and say probably not. So that was my overall impressions.
Ryan, why don't you go ahead? I stepped all over you there.
Oh, that's okay. And I think Robbie brings up a good point when he started was like you didn't see it when it first came out, and then you said you've seen movies like it since that you liked better. I think like other movies maybe took some beats from this and like maybe improved on it in your eyes. So I definitely see where you're coming from. Like I didn't see it back then, and back then maybe it would have been better. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. Am I making sense?
No, I think
Hmm.
that's exactly right. I feel like, and I'm just gonna not go on a quick tangent, but I feel
Oh,
like
go on a tangent.
if I saw it in 96 and it's as groundbreaking as it was back then, yeah, I'd be different. Like even when I saw Reservoir Dogs the first time, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then the second time I was like, okay. Pulp Fiction, obviously light years ahead for me personally. But if I saw it in 96, I think I would have a different opinion on it. And I don't want to base that on my scores or whatnot, but I kind of have to. So,
Yeah, it's your scores, and I think you might be able to say that about a number of Coen movies. Like Big Lebowski. Like I saw that when it first came out and loved it, and have loved it since. And I've said it a number of times. Like nostalgia plays a big factor in I don't think just me, but a lot of people's enjoyment of movies. So not having that, it definitely like you see it for what it is, kind of, and you're just like, yeah, good. Maybe I would have, like you said, would have liked it 30 years ago or whatever, however long ago 96 is.
almost 30 years.
Oh my God, vomit. Um, well, I mean, I did see it when it first came out, or close to it. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I don't recall seeing it in theaters. I was a little young, I think, to see it. But I did like it a lot. Like I said before, there was a few things that I was kind of like about when I was younger, but I feel like coupling the nostalgia factor of enjoying it back then and then also liking the characters that I kind of didn't like back then now, like I do really like this movie a lot. I don't It's not my favorite Coen Brothers movie, but I do like it a lot. Just I don't know. Like I totally see where you're coming from, Robbie, with this and with like Big Lebowski. Um, but I like it. Again, not my favorite Coen Brothers, but I like it a lot.
So I feel like I'm in the middle of you two guys. I liked it. There were a lot of things that got on my nerves, and I hate to say this, but that accent, man, there's just something about it
I love
that
it.
drives me crazy, and I do love it in small doses, but like a whole movie of it, it was just like wearing on me by the time the movie ended. As far as like the story goes, I feel the opposite with Robbie, where I feel like it was almost too short. Like I kind of wanted not necessarily the same pacing of it, but like I wanted more. Everything just towards the end, everything just kind of felt like it happened. Boom, boom, boom. She's driving and then she pulls up and it's the house there. That made it feel a little rushed for me towards the end. Um, I'm kind of in the same boat with Robbie. Like, do I like the Coen brothers? Am I an idiot and I'm not getting something? Maybe they're just not for me, but I love No Country for Old Men. I like The Big Lebowski. Um, I don't know, man. There were just some things that felt the comedy felt forced at times, and the violence felt forced at some times, but it was spot on in other places to me. So I don't like I really have a hard time with this one because I think it's a good movie. It's definitely not one of my favorites that we've watched. It's not bad. I'm just kind of like all my opinions of this movie are like all over the place. When it ended, I was like, okay, good movie, but I don't know. Like I liked some of the takeaways I had from it, like especially about Frances McDormand's character, like just how she just went through all this shit and she's just kind of even keeled at the end. Like it didn't affect her. She's just, it's just another day in like a small town life. I like that aspect of the movie, but I don't know. Maybe the setting is kind of what drove me off and just not having experience kind of in that small town the way things are in a small town. But I kind of left this movie scratching my head about how I really felt about it.
Yeah.
It's just tough. This is what like an email or even just a text would be nice from somebody who really enjoys this movie, who really liked it, uh, why they like it, why they thought maybe quote unquote it was groundbreaking for the time. Again, I really have to go back and say it again that it's I think it's because A, I don't think I'm a big Coen Brothers fan, and B, I think that I saw it in 2024 when I've seen, you know, better movies, Pulp Fiction, movies like that that are similar realms of it, but I've seen better. And of course, probably like Ryan said, other directors, other writers have stolen bits and pieces like everybody usually does from these kind of movies. But I'm gonna have to go with me not seeing it in a time period and me maybe not like I really don't think I'm a Coen Brothers fan. I want to go back now and watch No Country and see if I have still have that same feeling about it like I did back then. So I don't know. I'm up in the air with the Coen Brothers.
To your point, like it is one of those movies that I think a lot of people drew inspiration from. And if I would have saw it in 1996, maybe it would have been different. I also would have been 10, Robbie. I don't even think you would have been born yet.
Not even
Um,
please, 2 years old.
um, but also at the same time, the movie does feel like it could have been made today. And I think that plays it like if it was like a quote unquote period piece, I don't know if you could have a period piece of like only 30 years ago, but it felt very fresh. Like there's nothing about this movie that really dated the movie to me. Like it was, and I think maybe that's some of the beauty of this movie is that it stands the test of time in that way. And maybe that's kind of the beauty of a Coen Brothers movie is that it holds up well. It's strong all the way around, and it doesn't ever feel dated. Um, I'm honestly not doing this to make a joke, but like I feel like when I watched Fifth Element, as much as it held up later on, I didn't ever really feel like it was bad because of how old it was. There were still things you could notice about it that, it felt like an older movie. Um, Whereas this movie, and partly yes, because there's no CGI, there's none of all this kind of stuff, and it's just like kind of almost like a straight play with it's just a lot of dialogue and things just happening, and there's not all these crazy set pieces and stuff like that. I think that's why it holds up as well. But yeah, that's why I'm like so torn on like, was this good? Was it great? Did I not like it? Did I kind of not like it? But at the end of the day, I appreciate the movie for what it is. I just don't know if it hit maybe the things that, turn me on.
Yeah. I think we need, like Robbie said, like someone smarter than us to like explain to us why either A, they love this movie so much, or B, like why the Coen brothers are um so celebrated. I mean, I feel like I really like the Coen brothers movies that I've seen, but I understand that they're not for everyone, but I don't know why they're not for everyone. Like I don't know why someone either really likes it or doesn't like it. And I feel like a lot of their movies are like that, where it's like, wow, this was a masterpiece versus or whatever. Whereas other movies, it's like the I guess the spectrum of enjoyment. I just made that up, I think, is narrower.
Trademark it, babe. Trademark
Trademark spectrum of enjoyment. It's
it.
like it's narrower. It's like, okay, everyone likes this movie or everyone
Yeah.
hates this movie, whereas this is kind of like masterpiece for whatever 20% of the viewers, and then everyone else kind of is like all the way down to I don't know. So
And
I don't
it's
know why it's like that, but it seems like it is with them.
it's crazy too because like this movie destroyed in the poll. I think like two people voted for the other two movies, and everybody else voted for Fargo.
Right.
I hate to constantly call him out, but Kenny DM'd me and was like, if you guys don't watch Fargo, like what the fuck are you doing? So I don't know if it's just and I'd love to hear from him, except I spilled a drink on him, so I don't think we'll ever hear from him again.
Never.
But no, I would kind of love to hear his opinion on it because maybe some of the things that I was saying where it's just it feels a little timeless and it holds up today. Um, I would kind of like to know his opinion of it. Even the guy who commented on our Instagram, if you're listening and not just keeping an eye on the scores, which I'm sure some people do, I would love to hear from you and just what makes it one of your all-time favorites.
Right. I mean, it won 2 Oscars and was nominated for a number of other ones. So like it definitely is appreciated, I guess you could say, or whatever. I think it lost. I'm just looking at what it, come on,
That's crazy to me too. Like I like Frances McDormand, but I can't believe that she won Best Actress for this movie.
right?
I really can't. And I'm not shitting on her performance. Please, I am nowhere close to being a talented actor or actress, but I'm baffled that she won for this. There was no, I don't know. I don't know what was so special about her character to garner votes for Best Actress. I have to go back and see who the nominees were, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's performances where I'm blown away by like these actresses or actors. Like I like shit. If she won for Fargo, then I think Margot Robbie should win for Barbie. So, and she's not even nominated. So, I mean,
She wasn't?
there's
Oh my God,
no.
please,
The
please.
Really?
funny part is this. None of the America Ferrara got nominated, but Gosling was got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. No Best Director and no Best Actor.
Oh,
Basically, the
so
So
entire
that's
plot.
why he said on the interwebs, there's without Barbie, there's no Ken or something along those lines. I guess
the
that
other
was like a statement.
Yeah, the other thing too, it was nominated for Best Picture, and Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated for Best Director, and that's like the third time that that's happened to her.
That's
I
whack.
think Aya was telling me, and if we do talk about this a little bit later on, she does want to jump in because she has a lot of feelings on the Oscars this year. But
Okay.
Oh boy.
um, it happened with her with Lady Bird and another movie where the picture itself was nominated, but she wasn't nominated for Best Director.
That's
But
weird.
let me pull us back in and mention the Frances McDormand thing. I don't. It's no fault of her own. I think she did a really good job. It's just the character to me, like it felt a little shallow, like not. She did a very good job with it, but I mean, we talked about this during The Big Lebowski. Like, what's written on the page is what is said. Like that, there's no improving. There's no like, hey, can we go a different route with this? So I don't put that on her. I put that on, the Coen brothers a little bit. Um, but she almost felt, we joked around about Columbo last week. And, I was getting those like Columbo vibes where she's like, oh, I'm dopey and like, oh, friendly. And then all of a sudden, boom, I figured out this whole thing. But even then with that, like she just kind of stumbled upon it. Like she kind of had an idea that some of these guys were being suspicious, but, at the end, it just kind of fell into her lap. So I agree with Robbie where like I appreciate her as an actress and I think she's very good, but to win an Oscar for this is just kind of strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm, I'm I'm literally baffled that she won Best Actress. I perplexed. And I'm verklempt because I can't even talk right now.
I mean, I'm looking at the other ones. I cannot speak to any of these other movies or I mean, I know some of the actors, but it was basically Robbie. I don't know if you looked it up, but I have it up. Um, like Diane Keaton, Marvin Drew, Emily Watson, Kristen Scott Thomas, English Patient, Brenda Blessing. I don't even know who that is. Maybe I'm stupid
Oh,
for
she
not
was
knowing,
amazing
but
in Secret and Lies.
see, I never saw that movie.
Neither did I. You think I'm going to see these stupid freaking movies?
I was literally going to ask if this was the English Patient year because, like, that's for some reason I remember 1996 being the
Yeah.
English Patient.
So like again, I don't know any of these other films. Um, so I can't really speak to if Frances McDormand was better or worse. Maybe it was a weak class. I mean, I personally thought she was great in this. I really like her character in this. I see where you guys are coming from. But again, I can't say that she deserved it or didn't deserve it over these other nominees. I never saw these.
Well, that's the other thing too. I mean, like, listen, we're not Siskel, we're not Ebert, we're not Roper. But
Rest in
Speak
peace.
for yourself.
but those other movies, I mean, any of them really have the staying power as this movie does? So, I mean, maybe that's kind of, where it landed, whereas out of all those movies, I'm sure in 96 those were great movies, but maybe this one just kind of stuck out. I mean, maybe that's kind of what we're talking about. Maybe this was kind of a turning point for movies where some of the older styles kind of went out the window, and this kind of ushered in a
Like
new style of filmmaking.
this and like Pulp Fiction and those types of movies,
Yeah, which I'm
all
sure,
right around the same time, sort of.
and all kind of, have influenced movies that we watch to these, to this day. And we talked so many times about movies being of their time, and like, who casted this guy? Like, did you not care about, like, and now we talk about movies where like every single person, not that they're heavy hitters, but they crush their roles and they're casted perfectly and they pay attention to all these little details. And that's something that I think this movie did very well. Everybody in this movie was good, for the most part. I'll get into that a little bit later, but you know e- maybe this is kind of that turning point in movies where people cared a little bit more about all the little details.
I don't know.
Yeah, it did win original screenplay, I guess. I wasn't blown away by it, but again, I'm not, Shakespeare. I'm not a good writer, so who am I to judge? It's just my opinion. But I don't know. Like I said, I'll see Brian this weekend, so I'd like to get his point of view of why he likes it so much. And maybe I'll tell him to hit the bricks after we're done talking, never speak to me again.
I mean, and if you're listening to this too, like, just because we're not talking about Fargo next week, we would still love to read your email about it and discuss it a little bit further.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, please.
Um, because yeah, like there's probably somebody, I guess the Oscars or whoever the voters are, like read the screenplay and were like, holy shit. Like when it comes to movies, this is fucking top notch. This is amazing. This is better than anything else this year. Um, but we're like we've said, we're not like experts in that way. So anyone who has any insight, please let us know. But we just call it like we see it, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
you boys watch.
yeah, these you can't always have Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Bastards and Django and Social Network type screenplays, but maybe I'm spoiled in that way.
Home Alone.
Home
Home
Alone.
Alone,
Home
I mean,
Alone
Bliss, the
2.
best screenplay. Jugs on the Run one.
Not 2, but Jugs on the Run 3.
They came back
Recapture
Yeah,
strong.
repeat.
yeah. Two we decided we went with a rookie director and a it was a disaster.
Disaster. Um, so I don't know. Should we like get into some characters and scenes and
We got to get
Scores,
plums out,
babe.
baby.
oh shit.
Scores.
Oh my God. We talked so much, I forgot.
I know.
Does anyone want to go first?
Let me go first because I don't want to get influenced by anybody else's score, because I'm, like I said, I'm very on the edge with everything with this movie. I'm gonna go with 7.9. Um, Again, I thought it held up well. I thought, the performances were good. I thought the story was pretty good. There was just, like I said, a couple things missing for me. Um, and this is where looking at your list kind of fucks you, because this is so out of whack on my list, and I probably would put some movies lower than this, but just going off my gut instinct and how I feel, I'm going 7.9.
Fair. So I I'll go because Robbie, you were burping. So
Thank you.
um yeah, I mean I'm actually surprised based on what you said earlier that you had such pretty high. I would consider 7.9, but I understand what you're saying. Um I gave it an 8.4. Um Again, I really liked it a lot. It's not one of my favorite one of my favorite Coen brothers, but I really do enjoy this. I would watch it numerous times in the future. So 8.4.
Yeah, for me, like I said, didn't really hit as as much as I thought it was going to. Thought it was a good movie. I didn't think the story was that compelling. Didn't have me on the edge of my seat. Um, I didn't really enjoy the pacing. Um, so I'm gonna have to go with my birth weight. 7.7 for me.
Nice. That's a nice healthy baby.
Thank you. I almost died 5 weeks later, but thank God I'm here to do this with you.
All right. All right. So now should we get into scenes and characters?
Now we can. Yes, I give you
All right.
permission.
All right. Well, since you're giving me permission, then you're making the choice. Do we do scenes or characters first?
Let's go characters for 500, Bob.
All right. Please give us your favorite character in this movie.
I'm going to give you my least favorite character. How about that?
Oh,
How about
all
we start off
right.
with least?
Okay.
Let me pull up his name because I want to make sure I don't put respect on it.
Oh boy. You're gonna fucking steal my pick, aren't
No, I don't
Hooker
think
number
so.
two.
Yes, okay, number two, my namesake for this episode. Give me Harvey Presnell as Wade Gustafson. I
Really?
don't,
Gustafson.
yeah. I don't like, he felt out of sync with the rest of the characters, and he fucks over William H. Macy's character. He's just a dick. I do like the one shining moment I felt like from his character is when the three of them are sitting at the table and they want the $1 million and he tries to negotiate it down to 500,000. And the guy's like, dude, what do we do? Like, stop. You don't hold the cards. Like, don't be cheap on this. But yeah, I don't know. Like his character was just, it's part of the story, but such a wild card, such a dick. And I just felt like his performance, he felt like separate from the rest of the cast. I don't know how to explain it, but to me, he just didn't match the energy as everybody else. I don't know where else I've seen him from. I feel like it was an episode of Seinfeld. I feel like there were a couple of Seinfeld alums in this episode. Um, but yeah, for me, he wasn't doing it for me. I appreciate the character, but I felt like the performance was just off a little bit.
Do you think that I'm grasping at straws a little bit, but do you think that was intentional because he was like the rich, wealthy person amongst William H. Macy mainly as like the poor criminal-esque? I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that, but then I would almost have liked to have him play over the top a little bit more and be like he seemed kind of grounded in reality a little bit. I wish I was better at describing these things sometimes, but he felt like he didn't mesh with the cast well. But maybe, like you
Fair.
said, that was just kind of that was the point of it. But I don't know. I felt like the other main characters were so on their game, and he just kind of felt like, yeah, I almost got that Bob Newhart feel from him where he was just going through the motions on this one.
Well, Bob
I
knew I
think
just catch the strays every episode.
Please, I'll take that to my grave.
I can't
Not an
believe it.
episode will pass without Bob Newhart getting his fucking comeuppance.
Horrible. He didn't deserve that. I think I know where you know him from. I'm gonna take a guess. This is a game I like to play with my wife. Is where do I know this actor from?
Okay, go ahead.
So I look quickly. I'm gonna say you know him from Mr. Deeds as Preston Blake.
I've never fully seen Mr.
Oh,
Deeds. Hold on, I want to look him up. I thought he was a Mantelbaum.
he was not a Mandelbaum. He does look like that one.
He could have been a Mantelbaum, but
Mandelbaum, Mandelbaum. Maybe it's Saving Private Ryan. We did watch that.
he was in that.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys go ahead. I'll try to see if I can
All right.
find this.
Robbie, would you like to go for least favorite? Or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go. As you know me, if you're a fan of the show, if you're not a fan of the show, you know that I hate kids. So you know I hate kid actors except for Macaulay Culkin. So I'm gonna have to go with Tony Denman as Scotty Lundegaard. Just an annoying bastard, really, just super annoying. I didn't like his tone. I didn't like his shtick. I didn't like anything about him. Any man that plays the accordion is not a man to me. So yeah. Pick up something like a violin. Be a man, would you please? So yeah, Scotty Lundegaard, just the entire, the tears, the crocodile tears in bed. looking for his mom. Miss me with that. Give me somebody that's more accomplished. If that was Macaulay Culkin, he would have destroyed that scene. And I would have, given this movie a 9.7. So yeah, please. That once he came on the screen, I said to myself, I hate this fucking kid. So that was it. It was over. He could have did something spectacular. It wouldn't change my mind. So Scotty, take a hike.
Not too hotty. So before you go, Ryan. All right, so I think it had to be Saving Private Ryan, but he also looks like Lois's dad from Family Guy.
Yes,
So maybe that's where I was
maybe
getting the
that's
vibe
it.
from.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, he
Uh,
was the guy I think he was the guy that said his brothers were dead in Saving Private Ryan. That was the guy, right? My brothers
My brothers are
are
dead.
dead. Bravo.
it's funny because you brought it up again, like that in years past, there somebody was just like, yeah, he's good enough. Oh yeah, they're good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck it.
listen, it's
No one's gonna
lunchtime.
notice. It's only 30
Yeah,
seconds.
it's lunchtime. That's a good take.
Stupid. All right, my least favorite character is Steve Park as Mike Yanagita
Oh
because
man, the cringe.
just fucking annoying, my goodness. And then you find out later that it was all bullshit. I
Yeah,
mean, that was the funniest part, but so annoying. Like and the worst part of all this, not that she goes and meets him in the hotel or that he lies about everything, that his wife died, all this bullshit. He fucking called her at like 11 o'clock at night on a work day. What's wrong with you?
that
Come on.
should have been the first red
That's so
flag.
annoying.
Huge red flag. What a piece of crap. Whatever. So,
Any
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 honorary
on
mentions?
match?
I'll go what's his name? Frances McDormand's cop buddy. What's his name? I don't even know his
Oh,
name. I can't find it. He just stunk the life out of me. I get it, what he was trying to do and play the aloof, you know, Minnesotan nice cop, but he just didn't do it for me. He was very annoying on the screen. He almost put me to sleep 3 or 4 times he came on the screen.
I think you're talking about Lou.
Yeah. Lou
When
Watanabe.
when she's like, I don't 100% agree with your police work there, Lou. That guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, with the DLR. I also a funny moment with him, and it's all Frances McDormand. But when she's like, "Oh yeah, like go look over there or whatever," and she chucks the coffee before she gets in the car.
Bruce Bone as Lou.
Yes.
I'll give a little Ani mensch, and I don't want to do it to her, but Kristen Rudrud as Jean Lundegaard. I mean, shut up, would
Oh my
you?
Yeah, that
God,
was rough.
please.
Shut up. Like that was
Jeez.
when I was between like and again, now I know what they're doing. The overly nice, like the peppy. It was just like so much. And then when she starts going with the screaming and everything like that, I was just like, I can't. I was honestly hoping, not to her, but to the character when she fell down the stairs. Like that was it, and that was gonna be what the movie revolved around, was like this kidnapping gone wrong, and now she's dead, and they were gonna have to figure that out. But no fucking luck, no fucking luck at all.
I was hoping somebody blew her brains out in the car, or she ran into the tree blindfolded and busted his skull open. Another one, good one. She was very annoying.
Is
I wish
she
she would
the
have.
Go ahead, Benny.
I wish she would have pulled a Ted from Breaking Bad, tripped over a rug, and fucking.
Well, speaking of the rug, she says so. Frances McDormand says she's on the floor inside. Are we saying that she's dead or is she just on the floor?
I think Slippery Pete gave her the backhand, and
Okay.
she was down for
She's
the
not
count.
dead though.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
Slippery Pete.
he was looking for holes, and she was in the way.
That's right. Good call. All right. Favorite characters? I guess I went last, so I go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, it's hoping I wouldn't go first here, but I'll go Frances McDormand. I did really like her character in this movie. I am It's a struggle to pick her versus like two other people because I really like them, but I know I think the accent annoyed you guys, but for me it makes me laugh so hard. It's like it's like when someone makes a joke and it's like kind of funny, like okay, that was all right. And then they keep making the same joke and
And then it's like really not
it's
funny.
not funny. But then it gets really funny at a certain
Yeah.
point, and that's where I'm at with her accent.
Yeah.
So for me, every single thing she said, oh yeah, just cracks me up. So, and I love yeah, like you put it perfectly. It's the Columbo, like, I'm so nice, I'm just making friends with everybody, but I'm actually solving the case.
Yeah.
So,
She was my pick too. And because of all the people with the accent, her and another character that will remain nameless until we're done here, but that like for some reason hers didn't get on my nerves, like the accent. But just the whole when she she was on the phone with that one person, she's just like, "Oh yeah? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah." And that was when it was like, "All right, that was funny." And but still, that accent wears on me.
Fair. Um,
Um, yeah, you can give me Peter Stormare as Garrett Grimsrud. I think I'm saying his name right. If not, who cares? Um, yeah, I just love this character. He played a menacing character. I think he played the same kind of character I liked in Bad Boys 2. Um, he was just very good. Didn't say a lot. Menacing, scary. I mean, just a fantastic chain smoker. I mean, cig after cig, blowing his cigs out of his nose, not talking to Steve Buscemi because who the fuck wants to talk to Steve Buscemi for an extended period of time? I love that. Yeah, I just love menacing characters that don't say that much. So, um, I like Peter Stormare as Gare Grimsrod. He was my favorite character in this, other than Frances McDormand. But yeah, I enjoyed his character very much, especially at the end.
I
Uh,
read that he only has 18 lines of dialogue in the whole movie.
he made him count.
It's true.
Yeah, he didn't have to say much. He had his facial expressions.
When Steve Buscemi would say shit to him in the car and he's just ripping cigs and he just looks at him and just turns away.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta go with William H. Macy here. Like, I'm not very well versed on William H. Macy. Um, Besides like Shameless, and I never watched it. I like that's just where he is from for me. And I know he's been around and done a lot, but that was the thing that really popped for him and had everybody singing his praises for so long. But before I kind of got a lot deeper into like prestige TV or whatever, all the cable stuff, I never wanted to watch that show just because of how grimy everybody looked on it. Um, and please, I mean, me with the hair and the beard, I'm always looking like a grime ball, but uh
Please, please don't sell yourself short.
thanks. But no, I thought he was great in this movie. I thought he was spot on. I loved how feeble he made. I got a lot of Walter White flashbacks in this. Like there were like almost so many beats that I feel like Walter White pulled from this. As far as like him doing like the quick 5 second spaz out when he's doing the ice on the car, when he flips everything off of his desk. Um, but I love it, and I love the end for his character, like him just being the ultimate chicken shit and running away, getting caught, and getting fucking thrown down and arrested. He was great. I loved so many scenes with him. He was the most compelling part of the movie for me. Although I would have picked Frances McDormand as my favorite character, this is a fantastic backup pick, and I thought he was like really good in this movie.
Yeah, strong agree. He was one of the people that annoyed me and when I first watched it all those years ago and watching it now, he's perfect as that character, just the
Yeah.
sniveling weasel. Um, just and so many things he does. If like when he gets all pissed off, we're gonna do a lock count. We're doing a lock count now.
Yeah.
And then he drives away, and she's like, "Oh, for Pete's sake, he's fleeing an interview."
How do I dial out?
You're darn tootin'. Like so funny. My
Yeah.
goodness.
But that's
Um,
what and that's where I really loved the movie is like scenes like that, and I just felt like there weren't enough of them. Like there's again, I get all like the setting up and the this is what these guys are doing at that time, but there were so many like golden moments in this movie, and I just felt like they were too far apart for me.
yeah, I could see that. Like if there was less like Wade and Stan Grossman, and maybe a couple other like little scenes and stuff, maybe I mean then it would be an hour and 15 minutes, but like expand maybe more on some of the good parts. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Find out a
exactly. That's
little more about Shep Proudfoot. I don't know.
yeah, no, that would have been fantastic too.
Why
Because
not?
he was like he was a compelling character.
Yeah, he went in there, just fucking beat the shit out of Steve Buscemi out of nowhere.
Yeah. And you could tell a lot of those fucking cuts were the real deal.
Yeah. Hey, I'm fucking that girl. And he beats the hell out of the guy who's like, "Hey, what's going on? Quiet down."
Just bouncing them off the fucking walls like it's the ring
Yeah.
ropes.
Jesus. Um, Ani Menches?
I'll give an Ani Mensch to I will give an Ani Mensch to Steve Buscemi, and not because I think he's probably down my list further if I was to like draft favorite characters, but he was good. I think what he suffers from is the same thing he suffered from in Reservoir Dogs, and there is such a thing as too much Steve Buscemi. Like he's very good, but I don't need him like starring in a movie, being a very prominent character. Like he's good as a side character. You know, I do think he's a very good actor, but a movie like this and Reservoir Dogs, I'm like enough Buscemi by like 45 minutes in.
Too much Buscemi, man. Jesus Christmas. I don't know what it is. Like I said, yeah, too much.
And he's funny
But with
looking.
I don't mind that. But with that,
But
that
funny
beats
how?
that's me
Just
like a clown.
generally funny looking, and he was uncircumcised.
He was uncircumcised.
But yeah, no, I do want to shout him out because I think he did very well. Um, but just maybe a little too much of him.
Yeah, agree. There's a number of scenes with him in it that I really like, but I think you're right. I think it's where Buscemi overload. It's just a little too much.
And he's not believable sometimes as a tough guy character. Like in Reservoir Dogs or in here, I'm like, I'm not like I'm not scared of you, Steve Buscemi. You're not like menacing or scary or I don't know, just something about him. Please, before I go on the Buscemi tangent again, I can't do it.
Yeah,
You got
he's
stumped
more like
Schwab to watch.
unhinged than he is menacing. Like
Yeah,
that's the danger that comes from him is just like you don't know what he's gonna do, but he's not menacing like um Peter Stormare was.
yeah. The unhinged and almost like the fake it till you make it. Like I'm a bad guy because I say I'm a bad guy, and anytime I really get challenged, I'm fucking done for.
He sucked so much in The Sopranos. I almost stopped watching the show. I couldn't take it. Never believed for a minute that he was any type of Italian gangster.
Please, his last name's Buscemi, babe.
I know, but come on. Holy walnuts and the boys. Come on, forget about it. I'm gonna have to go with John Carroll Lynch as Norm Gunderson. John Carroll Lynch, fantastic actor.
Fantastic.
I think he was in the first season of True Detective.
Uh,
I'm trying to remember what other TV shows or movies I've seen him in, but he's very, very good actor. And I loved him in this movie because every time you saw him, he was loving on Frances McDormand and he was having a nice, fantastic bite to eat. I don't know what he was just munching on Arby, whatever he was. He was just eating everything in sight. And I love when people are doing that. Some of my favorite scenes of Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 is when he's munching on food. So, yeah, John Carroll Lynch, love him. I forgot what else he's in, but I think he's a great actor.
The only thing I knew him from right off the bat was Crazy Stupid Love.
That's
Um,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was the dad in that. Oh no, he was only in one episode. He's in like a bunch of shows, but like as like a guest star, like 1 or 2 episodes. But
Yeah,
I agree, I like him a
he's
lot.
good, man. He's very good.
That was, I'm sorry, because I was like looking at the cast list the whole time. That's Marge's husband.
Correct.
Yeah, he was awesome. I just love the only thing, the one thing I would have changed about his character, and I guess it's kind of makes his character who he is he's so loving in that first scene where they're waking up in the middle of the night, and then he does that huge to like hock a loogie, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's fucking gross, man. But like other than that, like you know, I love how him and Marge are both kind of just like nothing phases them. They're happy with their life. He's drawing ducks and they're getting put on 3-cent stamps. She's solving murder mysteries, but at the end of the day, they just want to munch on a bag of Lay's in bed and fall asleep to some Beatle documentaries. So I love their relationship.
Better than that. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. He was in a couple episodes of Veep. I don't know. He's in a bunch of stuff. But
Oh,
yeah, good.
Zodiac, he was in. He was good in Zodiac.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him. I'd like to see him in more things. Ooh, 4 upcoming projects. Good for him. I love seeing actors getting work. That's what I
Yeah,
love to see.
me too.
Especially not your prototypical, actors. Like the
Right.
handsome, charming one,
Right.
the blonde bombshell, the damsel in distress. So it's nice to see those good actors getting parts.
Yeah. And I hate like I'll look at an actor from whatever I'm watching and I'm like, oh, they're so good. And you go in and it's like the last thing they've done is like 2018. And I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, like what are they doing?
You're good. What are you doing? Oh wow. Any other Ani mentions for favorites? All
I
right,
don't
let's
know.
do scenes, I guess.
Let's do
Hooker
scenes.
number one for me was my favorite. Not two. Number
Not
one
two.
was
Number
number
one.
one was good for me. Yeah.
Yeah. The one when in the scene, the one on the right.
The one on the right when you see little Gilbert hang out the side when she's getting when she's bucking like a bronco.
Uh, all right, let's do favorite scenes first.
Okay.
Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah,
My
please.
favorite scene would have to be the ending scene. Um, the wood chipper scene. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. I love Frances McDormand, finding the car, walking in the back, and she's screaming to get his attention, like freeze, and he's not paying attention, and he's just shoving the wood into his foot to drive his foot into the wood chipper. And like he looks at her and she's like pointing to the hat as if she's a cop. I love that part. I love when she did that. That was awesome. And then her ultimately shooting him in the back of the leg and then driving him away in the car. I thought that was one of my favorite scenes, just because of how insane it was with Buscemi and the wood shepherd, thank God. And all the blood just squirting out, and then just the foot was amazing. I love that scene. And I think the Coen brothers just love killing Buscemi in movies, so I guess that's it. This and The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Bravo. Now I
Yeah,
think
now
I'm
you
back
are a
on the
Coen
Coen
Brothers
brothers
fan.
bandwagon. I'm back on the bandwagon.
I think, and real quick before we move on, I remember in the late 90s people talking about Fargo and like this was like a big thing that people were talking about, like, oh, the wood chipper scene, like it was like such a different, I don't know, like different way of portraying violence or killing someone in a movie that it was like shocking. And maybe we're a little desensitized because we watch like people's skulls get crushed in on Game of Thrones or like whatever. Um, but I do remember that being like that was like the thing about that movie. And yeah, but other than because Pulp Fiction was pretty violent, but like there was violence in movies, but I feel like after the mid 90s, after some of these movies, there was definitely like, I don't know, more graphic or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been like a throwaway death scene in Game of Thrones.
Right. Yeah. Uh yeah, fucking Ned got thrown in a wood chipper. Oh
Yeah,
well.
whatever. Who cares?
Uh should have thrown fucking Bran in the wood chipper. Bullshit.
Oh,
All right, let's not
The
get
young.
upset.
That's
I'm
the young
sorry.
let's
king.
not.
That's the
Let's
young
I'm
not.
king.
sorry. Right. Betty, would you like to go?
You can go.
All right. I probably would have picked that last scene. That's a great scene. Um, but since that's off the table, I'm gonna pick, I think, like when, not necessarily when Marge first gets introduced, with that Robbie brought up with the, making eggs, and the Prowler needs a jump. Um, but when she first is like investigating the murders, she's by the cars and she's kind of like working things out. I don't know. I like that scene a lot. Um,
Hand to the face. Self-deflate.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
self-defense wound. Like, and you like right then and there, you can kind of tell that she knows what she's doing. When she's kind of like figuring stuff out with those three people. Um, but yeah, I'll go with that scene. I think as I'm saying it, there's another one that I should have picked, but that's okay. I'll stick with this one.
I mean, we touched on it briefly, but my favorite scene is gonna have to be the second interrogation of Marge and why do I keep forgetting William H.
Terry,
Macy's character? Yes. Uh,
Terry
you know,
Lundegaard.
yeah, and you just see him already frustrated. She comes in, just the way he's like not respecting her authority at all and how she's not having it. And like you said, Ryan, when he gets up and he's like, "Yo, you want to do a car count? I'll do a car count right now."
Okay.
And just how everything devolves from there. And like you said, are you fleeing an interview? And then, her trying to call out on the phone. And then like, all right, shit has hit the fan at this point. And this is kind of where I felt like the movie could have been stretched out a little bit further is from that point on, because there was more there to like pull at the thread of what's going on and like, the death of the father, like all that kind of stuff I felt like could have been expanded on. But that moment, that scene, that was the most LOLs I got out of the movie. And it was just, a perfect scene. And that's, I mean, not, there's so many movies where the two kind of main characters only interact for like a brief second. But man, I feel like those two would have had such great chemistry if they had some more scenes together and got to play off of each other a little bit more. So I'll pick that scene.
Yeah, that was the scene that I thought of as I said it, but good choice. Any mentions?
I liked, like you mentioned earlier, the car scenes with Buscemi and Slippery Pete. I thought those were, some of the funnier scenes, especially when Buscemi says that he's all right. I'm done talking now. You want to play? Take a play this game, and he just cannot
Keeps
shut
going.
up. Yeah, he can't. He can't let it go. That was a good scene.
Pancakes house. Still pancakes house. He said pancakes for breakfast.
I'll go with the car chase scene when Slippery Pete shoots the cop. I enjoyed him chasing after those two people. I thought when they pass him and they look at each other in the passing car and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna have to kill these two." I just love the way that was shot. It was just basically shot from the front of the car on the road, and all you see is the front car's backlights, and then you don't see him no more. I thought that was pretty intense and a pretty cool shot.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I'm blowing them away.
Um, any other ones? I mean, I also liked the scene where Steve Buscemi shoots Wade. Like it was just like so stupid, but like good at the same time because like we said, Wade was annoying and Steve Buscemi was annoying, so it was nice that he got shot in the face. But just like from the phone call to him being like, Jerry, I'm through fucking around. 30 minutes, we'll wrap this shit up. And then Wade showing up, he's like, who the fuck are you? Any others?
I like the cabin scenes too,
Yeah.
just
Watching
and
TV, hanging out.
hanging out and just those two together was a good pairing. And it's something if you showed me those two are gonna like be a duo in a movie, I'd be like, that's I don't think that's gonna work. And it really did. So happy for that.
Okay. All right. So then least favorite. Who went last? Sorry.
Oh, I think I went last.
Oh, on the spot,
Oh,
pal.
oh boy. Oh boy. Give me the scene where uh the father steals the land deal from Jerry. Like that was just such a fucking dick move.
Scum move.
And you know what? You should have saw it coming, and Jerry should have saw it coming, and it just made you like hate that character so much, and just the way that the other guy is there, and he's like such a lackey, and he's like, oh well, you think we're not a bank, Jerry. I just wanted to fucking knock them both out in that moment, like just such a scumbag move, and especially to do it to your son-in-law, and even the way he mentioned earlier, like, oh well, my daughter and the kid will be fine. Like, don't worry about that. And like, just completely like he hates him, and you could tell. And just fucking over your son-in-law like that. I was just so pissed after that scene.
Yeah, that was pretty whack.
Yeah, that was annoying.
But also, he's a fucking um. Wow, my brain stopped. William H. Macy is like he's so spineless in that like he should have been like 20 grand or so or whatever, at least something.
Yeah,
Finder's
say
fee,
something.
10%, something. But he's so defeated so quickly because the father-in-law just runs everything and he's got nothing. It sucks.
But I think too, he was so, he had those loans coming due. So, even if he got the finder's fee, he was still kind of fucked. So I think
What
that was kind of part of it. But you're right. But he at least should have got something, or like at least try to like rake him over the coals with like 100 grand.
something. What do you think? Why do you think, unless I missed it, he embezzled that money with those cars? You think he just spent it on bullshit?
Yeah, that was kind of the one thing I never really got, like what was going on with that. And I thought it was really mostly the Brown Sierra. I thought that was how he kind of made that car disappear. But I mean, I guess there were multiple cars, so I don't know.
It seemed like he was, I don't know, maybe selling the car for like parts or for vastly discounted for cash, and then just like, trying to put in fake VINs or something like that, or he was taking the loan himself or giving the loan to whoever, I don't know what he was doing. They don't tell you, but that's one thing I would, well, I'll save that. Save it for later.
All right.
Um, my least favorite scene, right? It's my turn. Is the whole thing with Mike at the hotel. Like there's a that scene was unnecessary. Like I know maybe you get a little more character development for Margie outside of work or her marriage or whatever, but we didn't need to be introduced to this character. We didn't need the
Yeah.
scene in the hotel. We didn't need really any of it. So that's my least favorite scene. And it's once you find out that he was full of shit, then you're just like, this fucking
Well,
guy makes it even more pathetic.
yeah, I agree. Good choice.
Thanks, Robbie.
For me, it's just quickly any scene that the sun's in. That's it. I didn't have a that least favorite scene. Um, any scene that he was in took me out. Um, there's nothing I hate more than bad child actors, and he was one of them. So, uh, yeah, I'll go with the scene he was fake crying in the bed. I didn't like it. He a little punk kid going to McDonald's, causing trouble, and now you care that your mom's missing. Yeah, I wish you were the one that was missing.
Should have
Got
kidnapped
him.
him.
Oh my God,
Got
please,
him.
I would have loved this movie 10 out of 10.
I wonder. what the slight tangent was up until I don't know, maybe Macaulay Culkin, were all child actors like generally shitty? I mean, I'm sure
Probably.
there was a
Yes, I mean, I
couple.
don't know about the guy in like E.T. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think the actors in Goonies were good, the majority of them.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
I guess when
Haley
it's
Joel
like
Osment was
kid,
good.
sorry to cut you off, who?
The guy from Sixth Sense, but that was after Macaulay Culkin.
Right. I mean, I, when it's like, yeah, Goonies or kids movies like E.T., you said, or stuff like that, where the cast is mostly kids, I feel like that's good. But so often in so many movies, when it's an adult movie and they just need some kid actor for a couple lines or something, they're always just like, yeah, I don't know. This producer's got a son, we'll put him in it or something. Like they just, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody annoyed me more than that kid from Jingle All the Way. I wish Turbo Man would have sent him to fucking outer space.
It's terrible time.
Jamie.
Jamie stunk. There's a lot. Yeah, the kid from Santa Claus. I mean, please, I can do a whole episode on hated child actors from my past.
What about the kid from Jungle to Jungle?
Never seen it.
Oh, please, we're watching it, babe. We're watching it.
Jungle to Jungle. Was that JTT?
I don't, maybe?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Or
No.
JTT lookalike. I think you might be thinking it was JTT because it's Tim Allen, and it was
Oh,
around the
maybe.
time of Home Improvement.
Okay.
Did you see
I
it?
mean,
Have you seen that, Ryan?
I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
like the kids in the Sandlot were cool.
All right.
They were
True.
good. The thumbs up really, really still probably one of the worst movie endings of all time. But um, who else was I thinking of? Oh, Little Giants. I mean, please, everybody.
Oh,
Oh, Ice
perfect.
Chest, forget it.
Ice Box, you mean?
Box.
I know, but she gets called Ice Chest in the
Yeah, she
movie.
does.
Oh. But Johnny was annoying. I didn't like Johnny, so that was really he annoyed me.
All right. Anyway, sorry for the tangent. All right, we'll do Jungle to Jungle next week.
I'm out. I'm out.
I'm out. I'm not wasting my time on it. All right, so any Ani mentions for least favorite scenes?
I mean, please don't ever show me Steve Buscemi fucking again, please.
um, I love his favorite scene is when Scotty was eating the Fruit Loops. Just the way he was eating the Fruit Loops annoyed me too. So other than that,
Can I ask you a question about Fruit Loops and just cereal in general?
Yes.
Have you ever eaten a bowl of cereal and then had a glass of orange juice
No.
with it?
that's why Scotty sucks.
But why is that in like every movie, every commercial for cereal? It's always cereal and a glass of orange juice next to it.
That's part of a balanced diet. So you're getting fruit, grains,
You're getting fruit
berries.
from the Fruit Loops, babe. It's in the name.
Babe, there's no fruit in that Fruit Loop.
Oh, stop it, please. You taste the rainbow or whatever they say. Follow your nose.
Yeah, you get the purple stuff, you get the red stuff, you get the Sunny Delight.
Oh, sweet.
Sunny D.
Kind of like a sunny delight after going outside in a hot summer day.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
right. That chalky fruit juice. Ugh.
Definitely from concentrate.
Oh, disgusting.
Ugh. All right. How can we make this film better?
Have Tarantino direct it.
That's one way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like I said earlier, I think that those high moments of the film, I wish they would have drawn out more. I wish they actually would have gotten a little bit more into the detective work in the movie and cut some of those scenes. I mean, you maybe even could have kept the same running time, but just cut out stuff like the mic thing, like I said, Buscemi banging, slanging, and then watching Johnny Carson. Like, didn't need it. Sorry, get it. I get it. It's filmmaking. I mean, you need those kind of things sometimes, but not for me. I would have appreciated more like the detective work and maybe some more stuff with Jerry under the microscope. Because that's kind of when his character was at the best, is like when he's like melting down. And I wish there was more of him kind of, oh shit, they figured me out and him just kind of on the run and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think there was more to that stuff that they could have drawn out a little bit.
Yeah, agree
Yeah, I think the
100%.
same. I think the same. That's why I think I like the show a lot better because it's more, obviously it's spread out over 10 episodes, but it's more detective work. It's more intricate things like that. Yeah, it felt like I'm sure we got stuff with William H. Macy's character, but I want a little more in depth of what he did wrong and why he was like that. I could have used more of that, like you said. I didn't need to see fucking, like you said, Buscemi uh slanging and banging with his big ass teeth hanging out. I didn't need that. Less Buscemi, the better for me. So
Uh, agree with both of you. A little more, yeah, stuff about Lundegaard and why he was embezzling, or more detective work or something. Cut out a few other things. Agree. I do have one way we can make it better.
Please.
Casting our favorite, Matt Damon, in a role, whether it exists or does not exist. So let's work overtime and put Matt Damon in this movie. Ben, you want to start?
Sure. I'm gonna go serious on this one. I don't have a jokey one, but I would have liked Matt Damon, a, middle-aged, not middle-aged, early 30s, um, on the force. He's Marge's partner. They're bouncing things off each other for a lot of the movie. That's how we extend the movie. Now we got to give Damon screen time. Um, maybe he goes home, tries to bang his wife, and he can't. Uh, and he's frustrated, so he goes after Slippery Pete himself. But no, that would have been a nice little way to extend the kind of cop part of this of the movie, is to have kind of a better sidekick for Marge. So give me Matt Damon as Marge's sidekick.
Nice. Robbie, you want to go?
sure, give me a middle-aged, not middle-aged, early 30s, young, fit, Minnesotan accent having Matt Damon as replacing, recasting Steve Buscemi's character. If you know me, if you watched this episode, listened to it for the past hour and a half, you know how much I cannot stand Buscemi. If you were to give me a dirtbag Matt Damon to go side by side with Slippery Pete, then you have two menacing characters, two scary characters, two believable uh crime, you know, crime characters, if that's even a fucking word.
Criminals?
Um, Criminals, there you go, thank you. But imagine like we saw Matt Damon in Departed, how much of a scumbag, sleazebag, you know, uh, piece of crap he could be. And I think he would have just played this part, and took it to another level and made it believable. Um, so yeah, I would have loved to see Matt Damon in this role, riffing off of his character from The Departed. I think it would have crushed it and would have made it more believable than seeing 5'6", uh, big ass dentures Buscemi in here, please. And then at least I would have enjoyed, seeing Matt Damon screwing a couple of hookers in this movie instead of Buscemi saggy balls all over the screen.
Has
Well,
Matt
you say
Damon?
you saw his? Did you get a little nut shot when he
Kind of
got
saw
thrown?
you
Thank
kind
you.
of saw a little bit of his undercarriage.
Yeah, when he
Really?
got thrown by Sheppy Johnson over there.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I wish Shep would have ripped his head completely off his body and threw it away.
I wish he would have
Fatality.
swung him around by his nutsack.
You know Buscemi's got the dangly ones, the dangly balls. He don't got a firm
You
set.
got him at home, dangly one.
The dangly ones.
um, shit. Now I lost who I was casting Matt Damon as because that was so funny.
Steve Buscemi's balls.
Yeah. Yes. Wait, that was a question I wanted to ask. Has Matt Damon ever played like, other than Departed, has he ever played like a dirtbag? Like real like scumbag criminal? He hasn't, right? That The Departed is the closest.
Maybe Mr. Ripley too, but that was a different kind of
Yeah,
scumbag.
yeah,
Bag of
true.
Vance, maybe.
In the beginning, he was a little
Bag of
bit of a
Vance.
scumbag. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, Bag of
Benjamin Button.
Vance.
Wasn't he
know.
in Benjamin Button?
I don't remember.
That's
That
where that
movie
gif is from.
stinks. Fuck that movie.
Yeah, the Benjamin gift.
I fucking hated that movie. All right. I would cast Matt Damon as um I don't know. I'm just stalling for time. I'll just cast Matt Damon to oh, that's what I wanted to do. The scene with when that other cop went and talked to the guy about the them being at Moose Lake over there. Um and you can't see his face. That's who I'm casting Matt Damon as, that other guy.
Oh man, that scene was so
I love
ridiculous.
that scene. It's so stupid. He's funny
Storm's
looking,
coming.
you know?
Guy just
And then they're
sweeping
just
water.
looking at the sky, front coming in.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I
all
will
right.
say I'm very happy we laid off the accent for like 99% of the podcast. We didn't lean too heavy into it. I'm very happy about that.
No, I tried the most and it probably was the worst. So I'm
No, it was
sorry.
good. I mean, please, I can't do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Don't
Uh,
you know? Yeah,
any
don't you
final
know?
thoughts on Fargo? I definitely want people to write in about it because
Please.
I think we may not necessarily had controversial takes, but maybe we need to be learned.
No, but I mean, I don't know if I don't think anyone's gonna come in and change our minds, but maybe they could explain like why they really love this movie, just to give it a like a different perspective, like and us learn in that way, not
Yeah.
like don't try and come in here and convince me that whatever Scotty was a great actor. Get out of here.
Oh.
Uh,
Uh,
No more child act. There's a child act a week next week.
so
I'm gonna cancel
Baby
myself.
geniuses.
yeah, boss baby.
Look who's talking.
Look, yeah, I was gonna say, look who's talking too.
Nice. Yeah.
Uh,
Anything else on Fargo?
not on Fargo, but if we're good on Fargo,
Sure.
Fargo,
Fargo, fuck
yourself.
yourself.
Whoa.
Speaking of go fuck yourself, I have a special guest that wants to make an appearance quickly.
I hope it's
Oh,
Aya.
it's Steve Buscemi, but
Ah,
eyes come on
Got it.
after.
oh,
You
Steve
want to
Buscemi.
come in the
All right,
frame?
I'm
See
gonna
you
go
later.
then.
See you later.
So we briefly talked about the Oscars a little bit. We didn't go too deep into it because I said, you had a lot of things to say about it. So
Yes. So, as Ben mentioned, I'm sorry if I look like horrendous today, but as Ben mentioned,
Get out
I'm
of
very
here.
invested. I'm very invested in this race this year. Um, we have got so the discourse, and this is coming from I did like an appearance in an episode on Barbie with you guys, and I said that I liked the movie, and I love the movie. It's a great movie. Minimal critique to it, but the discourse happening around the snub of Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig has got to fucking stop. It is insane. It is Ryan Gosling getting nominated and Greta and Margot not does not exist in a vacuum. And this and why I'm so invested in this award season this year is because this is the most competitive it's ever been for a long time. And I'm so excited to watch all the movies that are involved. We're at a point where there are so many movies that have been locked out, which I'll like enumerate later, that every category is so stacked and so competitive that people are gonna get left behind. And the fact that Barbie even got a fucking nomination is amazing. So I can't, I'm so like, I can't believe it's headlines right now. I can't believe news outlets are talking about it, morning shows are talking about it, reputable newspapers are talking about it, that it's a snub, and that feminism is like over because Margot Robbie and Greta
Well,
Gerwig didn't.
we ended feminism on the Barbie episode
Of
after
course,
that.
so
Time.
I
Well, thank
forgot,
God,
yeah.
feminism is over.
But like, and true enough, like it would have been nice to see Greta Gerwig get a nod for this. And I thought about that, but I looked at the and then actually I have to correct myself with the fact that I told you before, because she got nominated for Lady Bird.
Oh fuck!
But she didn't get nominated for Little Women.
Cancel the podcast.
But Little Women got
dare you.
nominated for Best Picture and Screenplay, but not Director. But that happens all the time. For example, Argo won Best Picture, but Ben Affleck was never nominated for Best Director during that
I'll
time
never
as
get
well.
over that either.
Right?
Thank God.
So like that stuff always happens. But if you look at the Best Director category, who would you remove from that like also people are
Christopher Nolan.
forgetting no, he's winning this year. He's winning this year. There's already a woman in that category. Justin Triet got an Oscar nomination for Anatomy of a Fall.
I might not say I would replace him with Greta Gerwig, but Scorsese.
Not for Killers. I know it's controversial, and I know we disagree on that. But Killers of
Say
the
it
Flower
again?
Moon.
You heard
Yeah,
me.
Benny and I
hear that
disagree about Killers of the Flower Moon.
He's a
but
legacy pick.
He's not a legacy pick for this one. This was a great film. If you can sit through it, it's a great film.
I don't need a qualifier on it if it's gonna be, like if you could sit through it.
Legacy.
I didn't feel like Oppenheimer. I didn't feel like I felt with Oppenheimer, but I did by the end of Kills of the Flower Moon. I was like ready to just
Build on
hang
top
myself at the end of
bomb.
Kills of the Flower Moon.
Well, no, because the third act of it was like, but that's something that hopefully you guys get to watch that and maybe review that. But like, I would rather you
I'll
guys
watch it again.
get to Oppenheimer, because that's a better movie to review. Honestly, I'm very excited, and you know what, I hate that I'm in here defending the Oscars, because the Oscars is fucking problematic.
Well, we have such a huge fan base that they need to hear this message.
I hate defending the Oscars. It's they're a very problematic outfit, but like it's insane because we're overshadowing the fact that Lily Gladstone is the first Native American woman to ever get nominated. We're overshadowing the fact that Coleman Wingo is the first ever Afro-Latino to get nominated. We're overshadowing the fact that most categories, the 5 major categories right now, have more like not every category is washed by a straight white male. There's like diversity. I know. Your time is up, guys. Your time is up. So like, but it's so fun to I am so excited to go through the movies this year. Every movie is watchable for me. I even had to sit through Maestro, would not recommend that movie, but Carey Mulligan, well deserved. It pains me that Sandra Bullock has an Oscar for Blind Side and Carey Mulligan will not get an Oscar for this performance, because it was amazing.
She won an Oscar for that movie?
Blindside, yeah. That's the thing too, and that's the thing. Oscar is like it's luck of the year. That's what's frustrating about it. Sometimes you get a good year, and sometimes you get a bad year.
With Frances McDormand in this movie.
You think she got luck of the Oscar?
I think so, because we named the other movie, and besides The English Patient, I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But it was a great performance. But anyway,
it was good. I just think in another year she probably wouldn't have won.
Like, how competitive is this year that like May, December got locked out? How
is that a person, a movie?
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's a beautiful movie. If you get a chance to watch it, it's in the streamers. It's very disturbing. Iron Claw got locked out.
Yeah.
All of Us Strangers got locked out. Ferrari got locked out. Supposedly Penelope Cruz in it is amazing. Sofia Coppola's Priscilla got locked out. There's so many good movies, and the 10 movies right now in Oscar contention, I think every one of them is watchable. It's not like the past 5 years where it's like, oh, it's Oscar bait. So
it's a good year.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I know. So please, feminism is alive, well, and kicking, just because Barbie did not get fully nominated.
We'll try to kill it next week.
Yes. Please do.
All right.
What are your guys' thoughts for the Oscar noms?
Well, like I said in the past, Oscar's so white. So
Ryan's been
other than that.
Yeah, on diaper duty.
That's true.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was a controversy until you guys said something.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's been a hot topic in this house.
Really? Because it's nominated for Best Picture, and she did get Greta Gerwig got nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Like, what's the
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
problem?
Well, because like they were saying that Ryan Gosling got nominated, but Greta and Margot didn't, which is exactly the plot of the film. But like supporting actor is not as competitive this year. Of course, Ryan Gosling would sneak in.
People on the
Please, I mean,
internet need to fucking shut up.
Yeah.
he won that award for me when he just said Sublime.
Yes.
That's
He
true.
deserves 2 Oscars for that. Just one word. Sublime.
Robbie, what were you saying?
I forgot. Just give me Giamatti or give me death. That's all I care about.
No,
I'm all
Killian's
on the
gonna get it.
holdovers.
Killian's gonna get it.
You
Yeah,
think?
yeah, but that's dumb. If Downey Jr. gets it too, take a hike.
But what
I haven't seen what you call American
Oppenheimer?
Fiction, but I do love me some Sterling K. Brown.
I
Absolutely love Sterling
know.
K.
I'm
Brown.
so
Everything he
excited that he
does.
got a nod. That's amazing.
He was
Um,
fantastic in the OJ and
what
uh whatchamacallit? The last no, not the last of us.
This Is Us.
Whatever that. This is us. There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you.
But what's his name? What's her name at the holdovers? Divine Joy
Mhm.
Randolph. She's pretty much a lock to win at this point.
You think?
Yeah, she's winning Best Supporting. It's not really competitive with anyone. Like the most would have been Emily Blunt, but it's too far away. She's getting it.
And you know what we say on this podcast? Emily Blunt is a Robbie.
Oh, please. No way.
No, we don't.
Trying to grow the audience.
All right. I
Hey,
mean,
real quick, did you see what's it called? American Fiction?
not yet,
Not
right?
yet, because
Not
it's
out
in
yet.
movies.
Yeah.
We have a lot to go through. A24, please fucking put your shit on streamers, or at least put Zone of Interest in more cinemas, because I want to really see that movie. But yeah,
Me too.
there's a lot. Most of them are in theaters right now, but there's enough time because the Oscars isn't happening until like a couple of months or so.
Yeah, like
so,
March, I think.
yeah,
I was
Well,
waiting for Past Lives to come out on
it's
streamers,
in
but
stream. Oh, it's in.
You gotta
Oh, we
rent
have
it.
got to rent it.
you gotta rent it.
That is a big point that I will die on this hill. Because Annette Bening had no business being in this year. She's a great actress, but no business being in this year. But the next person in line that should be in Best Actress is not Margot Robbie. It's Greta Lee because she was fucking amazing in that movie.
I'm gonna be really pissed off if that movie ends the way I don't want it to end. And I'm gonna leave it like that. I think you know the way I don't want it to end. So I'll leave it at that.
well,
I'll leave
I
it at
will
that.
say that it's a bit of a spoiler for the movie, but after the credits, they dropped the trailer for Jugs on the Run 4.
Yeah.
What?
There's an after credit
please.
scene. There's an
I had to
after
do it.
credit scene. You
All
have
right,
to
good. I
stay. You
can't
have to
wait.
stay at the end, yeah.
I had to do it. Well, you've changed
Oh my
everybody's
God.
mind.
No, there's no changing mind.
There's so many people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is going to be everywhere. You're going to be on all the shows after this.
Everywhere all at
Thank you.
once. Everything everywhere all at once.
What a
Good
film.
points. I agree. You know how crazy I get about people losing their minds over stupid stuff. So
I know. It's amazing how people can mobilize over Barbie and not mobilize over like the important things. But
Like
Donald Trump,
taxes.
2024.
Yeah.
What
Universal
can you
health care. I
do? Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, but God forbid a white woman doesn't get like a Best Actress nomination. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I hate white women.
Oh my God, put that in your dating profile.
I'm thinking about it. Not a fan of white women.
Yeah.
White men, of course.
Let's talk.
This is all year, white men. Downey
Finally.
Jr., Chili
Finally.
Paul Giamatti.
Finally. Oh my God. God knows, white men, straight white men, God knows. Your time is coming.
Thank God. It's
One of
about
these
time. I've
days.
been waiting. I've been waiting 60 years for it to happen.
right.
Real quick, A24 signed a deal with HBO Max to bring all their stuff to HBO Max.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, I don't know
Love it.
when, but soon.
2063.
Yes, when we're all dead, and who cares? All right. Anything else about the Oscars, Aya?
Pretty much it. I feel like if you guys want to do like another like discussion of it, I'll be happy to hop on. Especially when you guys want to lock in predictions and stuff. Because I
Yeah.
feel like it's a little bit too early for that, but like, that'll be
Maybe
a
we'll
fun
do a
game.
pre or a post.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to do both.
No. One or
We could do a
two.
show with we could do a show just on how overrated Bradley Cooper is. So we could do that
Oh
as
Please,
my
well and how
God.
unattractive he
Oh
is.
my God. That
please.
was a that was a hard movie to sit through. That was you know how like everyone like to joke about like certain actors that they're so thirsty, like Will Smith was so thirsty for that Oscar. Bradley Cooper is so thirsty for this Oscar.
Well, Benny's a big BC fan.
I just don't think he deserves the
Think he's
slander you give
handsome.
him, but I'm not going to watch The Maestro anytime soon. I do think he's handsome.
How dare you?
Right there. Right there. Dare to dream.
How, how dare you do that?
No, but Carrie Mulligan in that movie was amazing. Amazing. She was
She's
so
good.
good in it. She was so good in it.
Everybody
Sorry.
fucking burps on this podcast.
I got the
What
Robbie.
the hell's going on here?
Sorry.
I know she burnt
All
my
right.
face last time I saw her. I said, get out of here. I said, how dare
Jesus
you?
Christ.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I mean, what better way to end it? We've said
Yeah,
it
let
all.
the boys
We've
burp.
We've all burped.
Thank you guys. Congratulations, Ryan and Katie.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Can I have
I'm
my
very
headphone,
tired.
please? Thank you. Love you. You're fantastic.
Ryan's tired. Let's riff a little bit more on 1996 cinema.
Go ahead, pull up the Oscar list for 96, please. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't know we watched The English Patient. So Ryan, please give us your Plum score.
Double header.
The only thing I know about The English Patient is that Elaine hated it.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Never watched it. I hate it. Oh, you're fine. And she's like, all right, great.
Should we leave him wanting more?
As always.
Who wouldn't want more of this?
I don't know.
You're getting looks, you're getting humor, and you're getting plot points.
Love it.
3 P's.
And slander.
And slander. And
Yeah.
kid actor slander.
That's right. Can't beat it. All right. So yeah, thanks for listening. Again, send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know why you love Fargo, or send us something on anything else, or suggest movies for us. We appreciate the support. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night, Steve Buscemi. I hope this is the last movie I ever watch of you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't you know?